8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Danushka Madhavela and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. The Northern Railway line will be closed from Anuradhapura onwards for another 5 months due to repairs. Students who have qualified for universities in the 2021 Advanced Level Examination can register for their selected courses from today onwards. 3 state institutes donate 2 billion rupees towards the government's consolidated fund. Farmers to receive 457 million rupees in compensation for the Maha season crop damage. China gives Sri Lanka school uniform material worth 5 billion rupees. The government has focused more attention to protect the food security of the country. In foreign news, Thailand warship capsizes, leaving 31 sailors missing. The Railways Department says that they expect to expand the transportation of goods via trains. Addressing a media briefing held in Colombo today, General Manager of SLR, WADS Gunasinghe says that they have planned to transport fuel by rail from next year onwards. There are around 1,500 kilometers of railway lines in the country, but double lines only exist in less than 10% of that number. Due to this reason, there are possible train delays. He also said that the department has not yet decided to increase the train ticket fare. Addressing the media, Deputy General Manager of Railways Gamini Seniviratna says that the railway timetable will be amended in the future to reduce train delays. The train schedule of the coastal line will be amended within the next 3 weeks. The northern line will be closed from Anuradhapura onwards for another 5 months due to repairs after the 5th of January. The DGM said that they hope to start a bus service from Anuradhapura to Jaffna for the convenience of passengers. The University Grants Commission says that students who have qualified for the universities in the 2021 Advanced Level Examination can register for the selected courses from today onwards. Chairman of the UGC, Senior Professor Sampath Amratunga says that the relevant email and SMS will be sent to students. The students can register for the courses via the website on www.ugc.ac.lk. Arrangements have been made to distribute compensation of 457 million rupees to the farmers who suffered crop damage during the 2021-22 Maha season by the Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board using funds allocated by the government. Taking into account the damage caused to crops due to drought, floods and wild elephants, the Agricultural and Agrarian Insurance Board has taken steps to provide compensation to 38,613 farmers for 42,934 acres. The Anuradhapura district will receive the highest amount of compensation under this program. It is reported that steps will be taken to provide 81 million rupees for that district, 69 million rupees for Manampitiya and 68 million rupees for Monaragala. Meanwhile, Agriculture Minister Mahinda Amaravira symbolically presented compensation to 10 farmers for crop damage due to the damage caused by the army worm caterpillar in the Monaragala area. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with local news. China has gifted Sri Lanka school uniform material worth 5 billion rupees. The Chinese embassy in Sri Lanka said the school uniform material will be granted to 10 million Sri Lankan students. The embassy noted that the material will meet 70% of the country's requirement in 2023. Furthermore, the first batch of 3 million meters of finished material in 3.8 million boxes will be transported via 20 containers. The shipment has left China for Sri Lanka. The Sri Lanka Ports Authority Airport and Aviation Services Sri Lanka Private Limited and the Civil Aviation Authority have donated around 2 billion rupees from the government's consolidated fund. The relevant cheque was handed over to the President today. This amount includes 1 billion rupees from the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, 500 million rupees each from the Airport and Aviation Services Sri Lanka Private Limited and the Civil Aviation Authority. State Minister P.R. Nishanta says that the government has focused more attention to protect the food security of the country. Speaking to the SLBC, he said that the government has planned to achieve development goals in 2023, which were missed out this year. He also said that the program has already been put in place to harvest the fish found in Sri Lanka's maritime waters. That ends the local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The special Christmas Carol concert and carnival organised by the Tourism Development Board, the Armed Forces and the police in the vicinity of the Presidential Secretariat premises has been declared open by President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The President's Media Division said that the event has been organised to give the people an opportunity to enjoy the Christmas spirit, adding that a large crowd had gathered around the Presidential Secretariat and at the Golface Green in Colombo last evening. This cattle service will be staged daily from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. until the 23rd of December.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
What's Life is brought to you by
Let's celebrate Christmas and New Year with CIB, with special gifts, discounts and easy payment schemes available till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization highlights that humanitarian needs in Sri Lanka continued to rise sharply in 2022 as a result of the political and economic upheaval. In its latest overview of the FAO's Sri Lanka emergency response from June to December 2022, the FAO noted that Sri Lanka is facing a rapidly growing food security crisis and 1 in 4 people are already facing food insecurity.
Let's celebrate Christmas and New Year with CIB, with special gifts, discounts and easy payment schemes available till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of
We give you the strength to rise higher and higher.
Never step back, but always march forward.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. Thailand warship capsizes, leaving 31 sailors missing. Turbulence injures dozens of Hawaiian Airlines flights, and COP15, nations reach historic deal to protect nature. The Thai Navy says 31 sailors are missing after a warship carrying more than 100 crew capsized and sank during a storm in the Gulf of Thailand. The HTMS Sukhothai sank after water flooded its power controls on Sunday night. Images shared by the Navy showed some crew who survived in a life raft. Today, the authorities said they had rescued 75 sailors, but 31 were still missing in rough seas. We will keep looking, a Navy spokesman told the BBC. Search crews worked through the night to find survivors, with the operation continuing today with Air Force assistance. The Navy also announced an investigation into the cause of the disaster. At least 36 people have been injured, 11 seriously, after a Hawaiian airline flight from Phoenix to Honolulu was hit by severe turbulence. The incident happened shortly before the aircraft carrying 278 passengers and 10 crew came into land on Sunday. 20 people were taken to local hospitals with injuries ranging from lacerations, bruising and the loss of consciousness due to head injuries. Thunderstorms were reported in the area at the time of the turbulence. Flight HA-35 landed at Honolulu's Daniel K. Inouye International Airport yesterday. Nations have agreed to protect a third of the planet for nature by 2030 in a landmark deal aimed at safeguarding biodiversity. There will also be targets for protecting vital ecosystems such as rainforests and wetlands and the rights of indigenous people. The agreement at the COP15 UN Biodiversity Summit in Montreal, Canada, came early on Monday morning. The summit had been moved from China and postponed due to COVID. China, which was in charge of the meeting, brought down the gavel on the deal despite a last-minute objection from the Democratic Republic of Congo. The UN Development Programme said the historic agreement meant people around the world could hope for real progress to halt biodiversity loss. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Thailand warship capsizes, leaving 31 sailors missing. Turbulence injures dozens of Hawaiian Airlines flights, and COP15 nations reach historic deal to protect nature. That ends this bulletin of world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
Amidst all challenges, we will rally around you and advance.
In the face of hardships, let's stand strong together.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News.
Development News. State Minister of Finance Ranjit Singh Balapitiya has refuted claims that the prices of products and equipment used by differently abled people will increase by 400% due to the recent tax revisions. State Minister C.M. Balapitiya noted that there is no basis in such claims since the government does not levy VAT or customs duty on equipment used by people with special needs. The State Minister therefore stressed that the prices of equipment used by people with special needs will not be increased due to the new tax policy. That was Development News. And now we take a look at sports news. Rehan Ahmed's stunning 5-wicket haul left England on the verge of victory in the third test against Pakistan and a historic clean sweep. Ahmed, the 18-year-old, making his debut as the youngest man to play a test for England, ripped through the home batting on the third day in Karachi. His 5 for 48 made him the youngest leg spinner to take a 5-wicket haul in a men's test. He was the architect of a Pakistan collapse of 7 wickets for 52 runs. Jack Leach had earlier raised the prospect of a 3-day finish with 3 wickets in the first hour, only for half-centuries from Baba Azam and Saud Shakil to delay England. England have appointed Leicester's Steve Borthwick as new head coach of the men's national team 9 months before the World Cup begins in France. The 43-year-old is joined by defence coach Kevin Sinfield, who he had worked with at Leicester since 2021. Borthwick, who had been favourite to take the role since Eddie Jones was sacked, joins on a 5-year contract. That was Sports News.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest, an interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Twitter users have voted in favor of Elon Musk stepping down as the platform's chief executive after the billionaire ran a poll on his future. A total of 57.5% voted yes after Mr. Musk asked his 122 million followers whether he should stand down. Mr. Musk, who bought Twitter for $44 billion, said before the poll closed that he would abide by the result. The technology tycoon, who also runs Tesla and SpaceX, has faced much criticism since taking over the site. Mr. Musk is yet to comment since the poll closed. Even if he were to resign as chief executive, he would remain as Twitter's owner. More than 17.5 million users voted in his poll on Monday, with 42.5 voting no to Mr. Musk stepping down.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest, an interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Economic news, courtesy of
LONC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LONC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
Speaker of Parliament Mahinda Yapa Abewardena today endorsed the certificate on the Inland Revenue Amendment Bill, which was passed by a majority of votes after debate. Following the debate on the second reading of the bill held recently, a division was called by the opposition. Accordingly, 83 votes were cast in favour of the bill and 41 votes were cast against.
LONC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LONC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
Weather report.
And finally, we take a look at the weather reports. The northeast monsoon condition is gradually establishing over the island. Showers will occur at times in the northern, eastern Uva and to north-central provinces. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere over the island during the afternoon or at night. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters are likely at some places in the northern, eastern and Uva provinces and in the Polonnaru and Matale districts. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damage caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The Northern Railway line will be closed from Anuradhapura onwards for another 5 months due to repairs. Students who have qualified for universities in the 2021 Advanced Level Examination can register for their selected courses from today onwards. 3 state institutes donate 2 billion rupees towards the government's consolidated fund. Farmers to receive 457 million rupees in compensation for the Maha season crop damage. China gives Sri Lanka school uniform material worth 5 billion rupees. The government has focused more attention to protect the food security of the country. And in foreign news, Thailand warship capsizes, leaving 31 sailors missing. That ends tonight's news broadcast.